Remember how to turn it on. Check, check. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to give it a few more minutes for traffic delays. Started.
So the microphones are on the table. When you're ready to speak or address the council, just push the button and it'll turn green. That makes the live mic, and that way the recording can pick up your.
Okay. Because we have to post it online.
Oh, so it is recording?
Interesting. Is this going to be a visual recording or just a?
Nice transparency. This is just auditory. I was like, there's a
Right,
camera.
but she said they're gonna post on social media, so.
You're right, so you be on your best behavior.
That's what I'm telling them.
That's right. None of us wore our devil outfits, okay? For Halloween, we're all good.
Oh, man. I'm gonna try my best.
Right?
Try my best.
That's very sensitive.
Do you have children in the district?
I don't. No, I'm actually a product of the district.
Wonderful.
I went to Jeffco.
Nice. When did you graduate?
2018.
Our last one is at Jecca. She's a senior this year. Without that,
I hate them. It doesn't help that I'm short. Okay. I hate that even more. No, you're right, though. It'll make it easier. It'll keep me from doing this.
Talk with your hands.
Because I do that too. And then I don't talk to them. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am Dr. Paula Johnson. I am the Executive Director for Student Engagement for Judson ISD. I was an assistant superintendent, and now I'm in a role that I think was meant for me. I get to do the teacher incentive allotment. I get to do professional development. I get to work with our health services director, who is amazing, and that would be Miss Amy Stevens. Wave at everyone, Amy. And so, Ms. Woods, there's a seat here or here. And so together, we will be your coordinators for the School Health Advisory Council. Prior to now, the SHAC was embedded in the DSBC because we're a district of innovation. And this year, the state said, no, you need a separate SHAC again. Because we used to have a SHAC, and then we have the DSBC. Now I keep saying the SHAC is back. So, I see the importance of it. Say again.
That's t-shirts. SHAC is back.
I'm already on it, already thinking about it. So, and for those of you who can't hear, out there in TV land, we're gonna have shirts made. And maybe, okay. We do not have any public comment tonight, but you can tell your community members, your family, your friends, your children. The agenda does have to be posted. We do have to record. We do have to post minutes. We will be doing all the things. And so if someone has, when certain issues come up, whether it's nutrition, child nutrition, or one thing that will come up again this year is we have to implement our human sexuality curriculum. It's already been selected and approved by the board, but now we need to do the training. We need to talk about when it's going to be embedded, which we already have some plans for that. But when that conversation comes up, that's when we want people's input from the community, right? And so anything that we do about our wellness, our mental and physical well-being of our children and our staff, all of those things, if people have something to say, then we want to hear that. And so again, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just super excited to have had such an amazing amount of talented and committed individuals apply to be selected for the SHAC. We have members who are from health professions. We have parents. We have a student. We have employees. So it's really a range of people who are in the community and for the community. And so we're just, again, really excited to have all of you with us. And so I want to take a moment. Let me see if it'll work. Nope. So we're going to leave that there. Oh, no, that's not what I was trying to do. Hold on. I want to have everyone introduce themselves. And so I will let you use this mic to do that. Well, no, I just was trying to make it go black, but that's okay. We'll just keep it at the welcome. So, Miss Ella, we're going to start here, and then we'll just make our way around to introduce yourself. And so what I want you to share with each other, you have a list, you have a roster in your book of everyone, so you don't have to remember names. There's no pop quiz later. Now, next meeting, though, there may be. So I'm a teacher. I'm always a teacher. So assessments, periodic assessments are important. But there is a roster in the handbook. But I just want you to say who you are and who you represent, and whether you're a parent, a community member, if you are providing expertise as a health professional or a student. Okay? 1 second.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Gabriela Lento. I'm Noah's Lendo's mom, so I am a parent of the community. I'm also a healthcare professional. I'm a holistic health coach, so I specialize in whole health, and happy to be here.
Naomi Woods, and I work with Up Partnership. I'm the Managing Director of Finance Operations and People Ops, and I live in the district. I'm always here doing something, usually with Dr. Johnson.
Has experience with SHACs.
I have a diverse amount of experience in education, been in education for many years. I won't say how many, but many. And yeah, just love being involved.
Awesome. My name is Curtis Reuter. Good evening, everybody. I am a parent. I'm also an alum. I'm Judson class of 1990, going back to the last century. And my wife, both of my girls, all of our brothers and sisters, all are Judson folks. But my youngest is Lily. She's at Judson High School. She's a sophomore. She's on the, you see the volleyball on my shirt. She's on the varsity volleyball team there. In my professional life, I'm a CPA and have been a nonprofit CFO for most of this century. So that's the expertise I bring. So thank you.
Good evening. My name is Karen Chives. I'm a retired teacher here in the Judson District. I just retired from Kitty Hawk May 31st, so I'm getting used to being at home. And I taught 8th grade middle school math most of my career at Metzger and then at Kitty Hawk. I have all 3 of my kids graduated from Judson High School, also attended Kitty Hawk and Coronado Village, and we've just worked in the Judson District for years and years. We've always lived in the Judson District, but we worked in the Judson District for over 20, 30 years now.
Hi, my name's Elaine Perez. I am also a Judson graduate. My dad's also a Judson graduate. Now my kids are the 3rd generation here at Judson. I have a kid at Copperfield Elementary, a kiddo at Judson Middle School, and I'm an acute care nurse practitioner at the VA. So hopefully I can bring some kind of input here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Van Adamson. I'm a cardiologist in the local area. Some of you all maybe see me from Convocation. I spoke briefly. I'm here to learn and provide any help that I can from a cardiology standpoint. My focus really is health and wellness, exercise, diet. So I hope I can be of some help. It's very nice to meet you all. Great to be here.
Hi, do I have to stand? Okay. My name is Anna Morris, and I have 4 children that have gone through the district, and we've been to Coronado, Salinas, Kitty Hawk, Judson, Jecca, and what's the veterans? My last one who chose Jecca would have been at Veterans, but initially the other ones were at Judson, all the changes. So I've been here a long time, over 20 years, and my health profession is a registered nurse. I've done transplant, travel, and now hospice.
Hi, my name's Jesse Gutierrez. I am a product, actually, of Judson. I went to JECA. I am currently a professor of nursing at Wayland Baptist University, and so I'm a registered nurse.
Hello, I am Kayla Sid. I have one son who is in kinder right now in Escondido. My daughter, she was supposed to start at PK3, but they shut down the program, so that was pretty sad because it was a great program. Let's see, so I'm not actually a graduate from here. I come from Harlingen, Texas. I got my CNA when I was in high school. After that, I did 1 term in the military, Air Force. After that, I guess that gave me a lot of perspective, so I went ahead and became a home aide. I worked for hospice. I worked maybe 3 jobs at once, being a house aide. After that, moved here, and I worked at the cardiologist center in Baptist as an EEG tech and an EKG tech and a nursing aide. And now I'm pursuing medical school. So here I am. Oh, I'm also trying to pass a program, but you'll probably hear about it later. Hi, everyone. I'm Jocelyn Themis. I'm actually the student here. I'm from Judson Early College Academy. I'm a senior. The reason why I'm here is to provide a student perspective. I'm also really interested in healthcare. I've worked these past 3 summers in a lab, so I conducted research in mice, which was pretty interesting. I also hope to go into medicine, but mainly here my point is to provide some student perspective to you guys.
Hi, I'm Kelly Gretchel. My daughter is from the New Selma Elementary. I've worked with Northeast ISD SHAC for a little under a decade. I also taught in another life, and I've had some experience in assisted living and memory care.
Good evening. My name is Donna Boudreau. I have 6 children that have gone through Judson ISD at some point. My 2 youngest are at Escondido Elementary. I'm a former educator. I taught high school in Austin ISD and Northside ISD. I'm currently the neonatal program manager at University Hospital in charge of our quality and process improvement program.
Hi, my name is Tamara Lanise. I am a 4th grade math and science teacher at Escondido Elementary. I'm here, but we had a field trip today. And I just, I can't get it. They were on the bus singing "The wheels on the bus go around." I'm just like, and I can't get it out of my head right now. So I'm here. I'm also a nutritionist, and that's the part I want to bring into this council, okay? So stay with me, I'm here, so.
Good evening, my name is Deanna Navarro. I am actually a parent. My son is a proud student at Cibolo Creek. He is a J-stem transplant, and so we supported him in that decision. I'm also a member of the chronic disease community, and I sit on the board for a foundation, a 30-year-old foundation that provides support to individuals and families affected by sickle cell disease.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just sitting here floored because I was joking with Dr. Adamson. I'm a doctor, but not that kind of doctor. And so when I hear all of the medical expertise that's in the room and the experiences and just the history, it just makes me so proud. Hold on one second. I'm going to ask the board members that are present to introduce themselves as well.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Canoyer. I'm a retired Judson educator and ran for the board in 2017. And I am the official liaison from the board to this committee, even though it's not required legally. That's important to us as a board, making sure that we're doing all we can for the health and wellness of our students. And it's a very passion project of mine as well. So thank you all for volunteering. We appreciate you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Leslie Lee, and I'm a board member, District 3, but I'm here as a parent as well because my 3 kids are at Judson. They went to Escondido, now at Metzger and Wagner High School. And I'm here to also, of course, learn. I was just elected last May, so I want to learn everything I can, as much as I could. But when Dr. Johnson stated about this SHAC committee that they're going to umbrella the bullying as well, so that's kind of dear to my heart. So thank you for coming.
I'm Laura Stanford, and I've been on the board for just over 2 years, and I haven't been to a meeting by the SHAC. So this is my first one, and I'm very excited to be here and thrilled that we're going to have bullying pulled into this whole umbrella. So that's what drew me in, is to follow up on that and see what we can do to expand into that area. And I so appreciate y'all's involvement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, board members. I wanted to share with you what's on the screen, and I'm ready. There are several, and you'll see this when we get into the policy sections and over time, but you'll see that there are several areas that the SHAC impacts, or really is impacted, that the SHAC is impacted by. And that includes athletics, our physical education. So health, it's really not the physical education. Well, no, it is. PE and health, especially health, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Child nutrition, employee services, safety and security, and student and family support services, because they oversee all of our counselors, truancy officers, social workers. Who else? Who am I missing? All the stuff. So it's a perfect segue. I am happy and pleased and thankful to introduce Ms. Monica Garcia. She is the Executive Director for Student and Family Support Services. I just wanted to give a highlight to her department.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. I've been smiling back there listening to everybody introduce themselves, because it's so exciting to have a wealth of knowledge and everybody here is part of the SHAC. I also want to introduce our Administrator of Student and Family Support Services, Ms. Palmer. She's sitting back there. She has been as excited and waiting for SHAC to start up again in Judson ISD. It was a little different when we had it as part of the JISD. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background. What we do in Student and Family Support Services is we oversee counselors, social workers, attendance, dropout prevention, truancy. We also oversee our safety protocols for suicide and homicidal protocol. We oversee bullying prevention, and why did I just lose a train of thought right now? A school-age parenting program, McKinney-Vento, foster care, wraparound services, mental health. So there's a big umbrella that deals with all of the SHAC committee. We also have curriculum that a lot of people do not know, that counselors have to have curriculum that we teach, counselors teach, just like court teachers teach. So we have curriculum, and that's why we're excited, because without the SHAC, we had to have outside committees vote on the curriculum. So having everyone in here, it's going to get much better when we have other people viewing the curriculum as well that are invested in helping us. And I hope that we will be able to go over our protocol, and with the bullying prevention being tied in here, everything with safety and supportive measures is what we'll be bringing when we talk to y'all with it. But talk to you about SHAC. School health services, it includes physical and mental health services that are provided, the comprehensive guidance program as well too. A lot of people do not know that counselors have a whole comprehensive model that they have to follow, that it hits a lot of the areas that are part of the SHAC committee and the decisions that you will be making. Keeping our schools safe and keeping our students healthy and safe, and wellness and parent awareness. So we do a lot with JISD parent table talks with important topics as suicide prevention, mental health. We also have fentanyl awareness, substance abuse, different topics. Yesterday we had a bullying prevention JISD parent table talk too, so we try to incorporate those. So I'm looking forward for more suggestions from the committee and how we can work together to get better on the topics that are out there. As I see there's a lot of people from the health profession as well too, which is going to be great for us. We also are required to have curriculum for substance abuse and for fentanyl awareness. So we have adopted curriculum prior to the SHAC, and we have, because of Tucker's Law, we have all of that out, and it's required. I don't know if some of you may have seen Facebook that we had a letter that went out. It does not mean that Judson ISD is having trouble with fentanyl awareness, but it is a Texas thing that is where we're having awareness, and it was all for prevention. So I'm so grateful that someone put it out there, but for prevention measures. We do inform our teachers as well, so there's a whole protocol, but without SHAC, no one really helped us make all of those decisions. So now we can bring all of those decisions and improve in our protocol, and hear from the health professionals as well too on how we can improve. But there's many initiatives that we will be working on together. So I'm glad that Dr. Johnson gave me a little bit of time to introduce myself. I'm not an official SHAC member, but I am an employee, so we will be working closely and collaborating together throughout the year. Thank you so much.
And I want to make sure that that's clear. So as she just said, like Monica, myself, Ms. Palmer, Ms. Stevens, we are not voting members of the SHAC. We are just I'm the coordinator for the SHAC, but I will not be voting. So there are 16 SHAC members. Excuse me. Something that we'll get into again with bylaws and all those kind of wonderful things. And so I want to move into like why you're here. Some of you have experience with SHAC, and I'm so thankful because there's a lot to it. This is not just another committee. This is not the PTA. This is definitely not the PTA. I don't want you to get power like, big head. You got to take your shirts off at some point. But there is a lot of influence that this committee will have on all of those areas that I showed you before. And before, the District Site-Based Committee, the DSBC, like I said, we were rolled into the DSBC, but now we're standalone again, which means those decisions are made by this body. So you will make recommendations to the board that we will deliberate, like it might get a little spicy in here, but you will have conversations, you will hear public comment, and thank you, Ms. Wickwire, for being here tonight. So all of the things, especially the anti-bullying, the bullying prevention, we had a really great meeting with board members Lee and Stanford and Ms. Wickwire about addressing bullying in Judson ISD. And as a person who takes a lot of parent phone calls, and it comes up, and we have to, one, distinguish between like being unkind, being rude, and being a bully. Like there are definitely levels to that, and there are very specific definitions that the federal and state government apply to that. But well-being, I've heard well-being, student safety so much. That's what we're rolling in. So the umbrella of the SHAC will take on how we are addressing student well-being, and one of those components is bullying. Does that make sense? So this doesn't become a bullying committee, or I always say it should be the anti-bullying committee or bullying prevention. But when people say, oh, we're going to talk about bullying, no, you're going to talk about anti-bullying or preventing bullying or how do we address bullying. But that will be a component. Yes, sir. Mike.
So when it comes to the bullying piece, does that include cyberbullying and its piece?
Bullying, the whole umbrella.
Just want to clarify.
Absolutely.
What about the steps leading up to bullying? Does it include those two?
The question on the floor for the people out there, does it include the steps up to? And yes. So we talk about one thing that Monica didn't mention that we also do is restorative practices in the district. And so building community, building relationships on campuses, positive and healthy school environments is part of that process, part of those steps. Mike, just needs to be green.
Well, we also, when that topic comes up, when we start discussing that, will we actually get to see y'all's protocol for what's currently being done or what has been done, like for comparative reasons?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a whole, I call her the marvel of the binders. She has a protocol, like between her and Amy, there's a protocol for everything. So we'll talk about the checklist, we'll talk about an actual bullying investigation, we'll talk about how the measures, mediation, stay away agreements, we'll talk about all of the things that lead up to end results and just all those things. So that will be, and we'll get to that in a minute, but over the course of the year, we will have focus areas. And you, as a body, will decide what we should be focused on. Like, there's certain things we have to do. Like I said, the human sexuality curriculum has to be implemented in spring. We already have a plan for it. We will present it to you. It's not for approval. It's to show you what it's going to be. And then we will be making a recommendation because we need to ask for some money to get people trained to be able to do it. It's what we call an unfunded state mandate. So we have to implement it, which means we have to purchase it, and then we have to train people on it, which all is in one bundle. We've already prepared that. We just haven't we haven't put it towards the board yet because it's going to happen late spring. So we're just giving it time. So the purpose of the SHAC, I think, is understood. This is a state mandate. There must be a school health advisory council in every public school district in Texas. That's the education code that relates to it. You will advise on all sorts of things that relate to student health and wellness. And the SHAC helps foster a healthier school environment. We also engage families. We can, like, so I say it's not a PTA, but think of it as the PTA when it comes to student wellness. Okay, so in the past, and I'm just speaking, I'm going off book. Even though we're not a PTA, we can still talk about having events for families. We can do health fairs. We can do, not yoga, but what did you eat about the physical aspect, like body movement and nutrition and all those things. We can do those kind of things. Last year I held a parent summit that was all about literacy. We could do a parent summit on physical and mental health. I know that that they used to do, we can collaborate with Student and Family Support Services. So we can do those things. I don't want you to think we're limited to just these meetings. In your binders, you will find the meeting schedule. So we are mandated to have 4 meetings a year. We have put 6 on the schedule, 1 in case there is an issue, and we have to cancel 1. These are like our rainy day fund. Or if we have business that we just know we really, like we may not have to do March and April, or we may decide in November not to have January, but it leaves us 2 extra meeting times that are already on the calendar, okay? So the responsibilities, we ask for attendance. We don't currently have the bylaws. I will be, I'm going to be researching with Ms. Corrales, our athletic coordinator, if she has the last set of bylaws. Otherwise, we will develop bylaws, which I have done for another organization before. Between Amy she has every contact in the world when it comes to Region 20 Health Services. So I'm sure that we can borrow the best from other school districts. I've already been developing something, and then it would come to you and you go, no, we don't need that, or oh, this is missing. So that will be our next meeting. Between now and the next meeting, bless you, between now and the next meeting, you'll receive that by email to review. And so at our next meeting, we'll discuss what we want to look like, and don't think you have to vote on it on the next meeting. We need to start by the end of the year. So, or maybe by January, I would like us to have bylaws in place. Excuse me, and my allergies are getting to me, so please excuse me. And communicating, respectful dialogue. I am a teacher at heart. I didn't really say anything about that part. This is my 31st year in education. I know. That's where you say, you look so young. I go, I know. But this is my 31st year in education. I began as a math educator. I taught high school math for years, and then I was a curriculum writer, and then I was a department chair, and then I went into the nonprofit world as a math professional development specialist, helping school districts across really the country in their math development. And then I transitioned into things we can't say: diversity, equity, and inclusion. I was an equity director for a multi-state, 12-state regional equity assistance center from the Department of Education, working with school districts who were still considered segregated in the 20s, and there still are. And I had the southern region, all of the U.S. South. So Texas over to Florida, up to D.C., including Oklahoma and Arkansas. Well, not Oklahoma anymore, but including Tennessee and Arkansas. And so those are the most traditional segregated states. And so I had to work with school districts about all sorts of things, from discriminatory practices in student placement, student discipline, access to resources, English language learners, which we now respectfully call emergent bilingual students, all of those pieces. And that's how I got to Judson, because I was traveling. There are people in the room who know me, and I was traveling 2 or 3 times a month to go to like South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia. And then the board of Judson created a position called the Chief Equity and Diversity Officer. And I was like, what? What? That's my job. That's for me. And it took about a year, and then I was put in place, and then everything changed in life, including our well, our state kind of went crazy. I'm sorry, I can say that online. Can I say that? They went crazy. And so now we can't even say DEI. And so we quickly thought ahead, and I became student advocacy, and then I became student engagement. And all that means is the name changes, the work continues. We are all about our students' safety, their excellent education, quality education, family engagement, all of those things. So I do still teach separately for my beloved Prairie View A&M University. Sorry, got to give it a moment. But I do all that, and something that I'm learning right now, I'm actually in a principalship program. Stop laughing at me. She knows what I'm going through. And so I'm learning, like, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So when people go, how are you with the SHAC? I'm like, it's exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is, everything in those 30 years have led me to this moment, to be with the people I work with and the work that I do. You can't don't put me in a corner. So it really is, when I say, all that is to come back to the community norms, the communication norms. I am a professional development facilitator. And so something that this group, because you're going to be together, some of you for the next 3 years, some of you for 2 years, some of you for the next year, and we'll talk about that. It's important that we communicate respectfully. Like, it's after 5 o'clock. I know I'm still a representative of the district, but we will not abide foolishness. Like I said, it might get spicy because this is our children. I still have a child in the district. He goes to JECA. I have graduated 2 other children, one from Wagner, one from Judson High School. And I have graduated 4 nieces and a nephew from, 4 nieces and 2 nephews from Judson High School. I personally got to hand my son his diploma in May, and my nephew. So I care about Judson ISD. So when we're in this room together, they are the focus, not us. They are the focus. So I will do my best to be timely and get you everything by email. A lot of things are going to happen by email because we're only going to meet once, possibly every other month. But you will end up with my phone number and my email. Like, I have it with me everywhere I go. Like, I'm off tomorrow, but I know I'll still be doing email. But it's really about being inclusive. So the roles and responsibilities, we are a majority parent entity. And there will be 2 chairs, 2 co-chairs, and a secretary. We'll talk about voting in a minute. All of your individual experiences are going to feed the SHAC so much. There will be subcommittees that we talk about, and I think all of you have kind of already talked about where you're going to fall. Like, it's perfect. You are in the right place. I tell you, and I forgot, please forgive me. Dr. Field sends his regrets that he wasn't able to join us tonight. As you can probably think, we have a voting next week. He's very busy, but he will, probably come to the next one. And again, the terms, 1 to 3 years. So some of you chose your term length, and I put those in place first. Anyone else, I think there were 6 people who did not choose. You said, I'll do it anything. I think that Mr. Rutter was one of those. I'm sorry, Curtis was one of those. So what I did, I'm a mathematician. I did a random selection. I did it's a random number generator. And I assigned numbers, and then I put them in. And so 2 people got 1 year, 2 people got 2 years, 2 people got 3, and I think I indicated that on your roster so that you would understand, like, how did I get this? I didn't choose this. If you did not select, I believe in voluntold. You didn't pick one, I picked one for you. So the SHAC is responsible, these are just a few things for the goals of the year. We do have a wellness policy. It has not been updated in a couple years. And so we may not choose to change it. We may choose to add some things to it, but there is a wellness policy that we will do a review of. That will be after the bylaws, because the bylaws are the most important thing. Because I'm a member of an organization. I won't say said organization because there's someone in the room that's not in my organization. Sorry. And so I'm walking near her because we're not in the same organization. But bylaws are they're your holy grail. Like, so that is the first priority. But we will update the policy as needed. Again, we will talk about the human sexuality curriculum. And I can tell you this much, we've already chosen, it's called Big Decisions. There are 10 lessons, 10, right, Amy? There are 10 lessons that will be embedded in health curriculum in middle school in the spring semester. So basically, it'll take up 2 weeks of health. And Ms. Jones, who is the lead for cheer, health, and physical education, she is already building out, she's already built out the template for the year to like basically drop it right in there. So for 10 days, they're gonna talk about human sexuality. And that is an opt-in, so we will talk about how to, we have to get that information out to parents for consent. They have to opt in. Yes, sir. Mike?
I just wanted to be clear with everybody. Big Decisions was written by Healthy Futures of Texas. That's the organization that I work for. I thought it had already been chosen and done.
It is.
Okay, so if there's anything that's voting that's related to where I work, I will abstain from all of that to make sure there's no conflict of interest and that kind of stuff. So I just want to be very upfront and clear about that. So that's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rutter. No, that decision was made by the board last year. And so has nothing, we are not voting, because it took years to get someone to actually push through the vote. And so we have a curriculum. That's not a question. It's not even a question as to whether or not we're going to implement it. The action will be to make the request to the board for the purchase of the curriculum, the actual purchase of the curriculum and the training that is involved. So it is a done deal, we just have to buy it. And it's not in health services nor my student engagement budget. It's not a line item. So we have to go to the board and ask for the money. And because it's not $50,000. No, but we do need to find out where we're gonna pay for it from. And then, like I said, community engagement initiatives. We may do some school-based things. It really could be almost anything that has to do with health and wellness of our community members and our students. So those are the goals. Those are the big ideas out after the bylaws. And here we go. So we will have that. I will share that with you. Again, I've already talked about the 2 co-chairs and a secretary. So the wellness policy, just again, an overview, it's our guiding light. The bylaws tell us how we operate. The wellness policy is what we want to happen, if you separate it that way. And so we'll talk about any kind of program that we identify a need for our district, or to implement or to support or what have you. This is where all of your affiliations outside of Judson, outside of this room, come into play. People you know. We happen to have some people who own their own practice. So you have contacts in other places. Like I said, Region 20 is really, really good about supporting the school districts as well. And we have in fact, our main contact used to be the health services director for Judson. So we know we can reach out to people when we need help or advice and guidance. Maybe? Okay, so the officer selection process, what we're going to do, you have seen everyone in the room except 2 individuals. One is Miss Amanda Waddell, who is a nurse at Pashal Elementary School. She used to be our district float nurse, was the term. She was basically Amy's right hand. But this year, because of budget cuts, we had to place her back on campus. It didn't really change, her position didn't really change because it was the same position rate. However, we're seeing that it was kind of a difficult transition for us because now Amy is alone. So we have clusters, we work it out. We have clusters who help support other campuses. So she's now placed at a campus. So it did free up an FTE for the district. So that was helpful. We all did our part, but that is one person. The other is Dr. Charlinda Nance. You may know her. She used to be with the DSBC, or she still is. She also has a son at Veterans High School, and she is it's something else. She's not just an optometrist. Ophthalmologist, yes. So, and she's now teaching. So she's a Professor Nance now, or Dr. Professor Nance, Professor Dr. Nance. And her son had a meeting tonight. We were supposed to meet on Tuesday. I mean, he had a football game. We were supposed to meet on Tuesday, and so, we'll work on our schedules, which is why there are 16 of you, like I said. We understand how busy schedules can be. And so if you have to miss a meeting, as long as you let us know, as long as we meet quorum, which is basically more than half. So with 16 people, it's a lot easier than if you only have like 7. So that's why we have 16. So we'll have 2 co-chairs and a secretary. You will be elected from among yourselves. You can nominate yourself or you can nominate someone else. What we're going to do is I will send you an email here in the next week, because our next meeting is the 19th, so we're less than a month away. I am going to send you a form that if you want to nominate yourself or someone else, you will do so by completing the form. It's basically going to say, who you are, what your expertise is, and if you'd like to nominate yourself or someone else for co-chair or secretary, and then why. And then I'm going to put all that information together, and I'm going to send it out to the committee of the council. And all the information will be there, like a lookbook. And then I'm going to ask you to vote electronically, anonymously. Okay? And then we will announce that when we come, and there'll be 2 co-chairs and a secretary. And if not, then we may have to draw lots. So I'm just, listen. Voluntold, I gave you a chance. But we must have 2 co-chairs. One of those co-chairs must be a parent, so that's the other thing. And then a secretary to help keep everything together. And again, the reason that we're recording is because I use the recording to help with minutes. And we're not voting on anything right now, but that's something that has to happen. And yes, will be announced at the next meeting. Again, we are sharing expertise, advocating for students, and collaborating with stakeholders. Oh, yes. Mike, please.
What's the reason for voting anonymously versus in person? Just curious.
Oh, we can vote neither. I don't know. You don't know each other, and I don't know all of you, and I don't want feelings to be hurt. Because in the place, because normally the reason that you have name tags is when we do vote on things, it's just easier to count, like you put your name tag up, and that's how we'll count you. So in a very public place, on camera, I don't know that you want, that's my, okay, yeah. I don't want anyone to feel slighted in any way. It is. I remember how it felt not getting picked on the kickball team. So, but again, you're all here. And I don't think I explained that. I really want you to understand the voting process for you even being on the SHAC. Because I know, it's a math mind. My mother was an accountant, it's like in my DNA. And I'm very much into statistics and formulations. All of you submitted your information. All of that was basically translated into a spreadsheet. And then it went to, remember that list I showed you of all the people who this affects? I sent it to all of them, blind. Didn't have your name, didn't have who you represented. It didn't have any of that. All it had on it was your answers to your expertise and why you wanted to be on the SHAC. And basically, there was that last column of how long you were willing to serve. And they voted, and I made it entirely quantitative. It was literally like a research project. I made it totally quantitative. I totaled everything up, took your averages from all those people, and it went to 7 different people. I also used odd numbers just in case. And you were on a scale of, listen, there's a reason I have a PhD. There's a reason I did the PhD. So then I took all those and I dropped them, and then I sorted the whole data set I ranked highest to lowest. And we knew our cutoff was 16. there were 22, and the first 16 became the SHAC. And you all accepted, so I didn't have to move down. And the reason I did that is because I know some of you. I've known some of you for years. I've known of you. She used to sit on the SHAC, the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. So I know some of you. And so I have to keep my bias out of it. I did not vote, purposely. So I need you to understand this was done intentionally, but I'm so thankful it wasn't random. Like you have no idea. So anyway, and my next goal is about to be accomplished because I wanted to get you out of here by 7 on the first meeting. So between now and November 19th, our next meeting here in the same room, 6 o'clock, go through, if you would, in your binder, and that's why, like, there's some sections that are going to be totally blank. Thank you, Dee. In your, on the table of contents page, if you go to the section 5. Section 5 is all of the policies. There are several policies that relate to the SHAC specifically. And so I wanted you to have those so you can kind of read over them and understand what you really just got yourself into. Listen, I want you to be aware. Awareness is key. But no, I wanted you to see all of the ways the SHAC moves within the larger board policy. It impacts quite a few areas. And so all these policies are online, like everything in here. All these policies are under the Judson board policies. They have to be. But you'll notice, what I really want you to notice is you'll see under, like, the top right-hand corner of every page will say, like in this one, BDF legal or local. Legal is what the state says. Like, we cannot play with that. Local is Judson's version. Some of them don't have a local. Like, you do what the state says. You do not go outside of that. So I want you to understand, they'll look similar, but there are certain things that are in legal that are the must-dos. Our local is where we have some flexibility because we do that. Now, we don't change board policy, but we might see something, go, you know what, we should add something. So when policy review comes, we can do a recommendation for an amendment, okay? So I just want you to see what is involved with SHAC and all the things. One thing I did not, it's not in there yet. The wellness policy is not in there yet. And there's also, our wellness policy is what's called triannual. Every 3 years, we have to update certain things, especially a big piece of it is child nutrition. Another big piece is athletics. But we just did that last year. So we don't have to do that for another 2 years. So that's why I didn't emphasize that yet. But just get familiar with the binder. Every time you come, we'll be giving you something to put in it. So you'll take the binders with you, you'll leave the name tags. You'll receive a first draft, and the officer nominations by, I think I said by November 12th. Whatever the Friday is before that. 7th. 14th. So, by next Friday. Hopefully I can get that together for you by next Friday. Because we're short. We don't, like I said, but I'll have it to you as soon as possible. No later than a week in advance. And the next agenda will be set, it has to be set and posted 3 days in advance, not counting the day of. So like this meeting, because it's on a Thursday, had to be posted by last Friday. So I will send it to you though, because right now, since there's no co-chairs, that's normally what will happen is the coordinator and the 2 co-chairs will come together on the agenda. So what I will do prior to the day it has to be posted, I will send it out to the entire committee and just say, this is the proposed agenda, anything you think we're missing, and we'll fix it and we'll get it sent out, okay? Are there any questions? As Dr. Fields likes to say, does anyone feel like you're drinking from a fire hose? Not yet. Yeah, because we haven't really done much yet. But no, again, I just want to reiterate for the final time, I'm so thankful that you're here. I feel privileged and honored to coordinate with you and for you. You have my email. I really live with my phone, like literally sometimes sleep with my phone. Because, well, I also oversee nurses, so at 4 o'clock in the morning, someone might be calling in and when Amy's out of town. So not that I can help them with that. I can just help organize who's going to go cover. But if you don't have any questions, you are free to go. Just if you would just leave, if you would drop your name tag in the little basket at the end, that's it. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you again. Take care. For sure.